Hey guys, I'm back with our Boost Brush update, so let's get started. So I woke up a little late today again, but I think I'll just start shifting to the later time of 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. postings, um, just to see how that goes a little bit. It also puts a little less pressure on me to get the videos out at a certain time. But yeah, Lost Origin is probably the biggest news today. Lost Origin is back at 510, and I noticed yesterday that it was starting its ascent to recovery, and yeah, you just see the last couple of days it's been going. It dropped to 480 at the low, and it just slowly has been recovering. It's back at 510, which was the previous price before that. And I've been seeing more Lost Origin demand. It's been one of the boxes that it's just got more activity for Sword and Shield compared to other boxes. Like in the past, the one that would recover more was Chilling Rain, which has been kind of stagnating around 420. But honestly, 420 is pretty good. It's been pretty consistent, that price, versus other boxes actually do keep dropping, and they're seeing more signs of decline. So watch out for Lost Origin. There were 6 boxes of Lost Origin sold today. Or yesterday. There are 5 over here, and then if you look at the data, there's actually one more over here in the picture listings. And when I look at the spread, the reason why I was looking at Lost Origin was, first of all, it's just a comparison thing. Like, a lot of these boxes have not been going up, so it's just when you see the difference, like, hey, wondering why. And you start looking at the spreads, like you see there's 510 over here for a booster box, and then it goes to about 530, then it goes to about 540 something, 550. So there's a good runway for booster boxes to increase, and it kind of depends when the momentum kind of reverses back to in favor of people wanting to get these things. All right, next. So let me just look at my notes real quick on that. Silver Tempest was another one I was interested in. So unfortunately, the price has been super stagnant. Like, it's just been very, very consistent around the 340s, like plus or minus $5 or $10. And when I look at it now, I see that there was one bought. There was one bought yesterday, and the runway looks okayish. Like, it's at 340. I guess that there's these 6 boxes, like 6 boxes over here at 340, so it's kind of a little slow. But I just keep looking out for this. There was 5 boxes bought the other day, and it could go to 350, but I guess I didn't notice that there were 5 boxes here. Otherwise, if there are just 2 boxes, it would be a pretty good runway to go to 350. Otherwise, it's been a little slow. All right, next. I'll transition to Scarlet Violet just for a sec. So Scarlet Violet base over here, it's gone below $200, and it's only one seller, but it's kind of it could be a sign of things worse to come or not. So 2 boxes were sold, and yeah, there's just one seller trying to sell 195. Otherwise, the price is still about 205, 206. Scarlet Violet base has been struggling, and it's not. All booster boxes are above $200 at this point, and for it to do a reversal on that will be kind of not a great sign. Then you might start seeing other drops. Although other booster boxes tend to have like greater sort of trajectories, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a downturn. We haven't seen below $200 boxes in kind of a while. Like, I guess, but you will see rare sales like this every now and then. In general, for Scarlet Violet, there is less interest in the initial boxes. If you really look at the pricing, like Obsidian Flames, you're seeing more prices go down. Paldea Evolved, it's been kind of stagnant. Really stuck at $300, and then SC Base, as we just said, like this is an $11 decrease. Versus the other boxes tend to have a little more momentum. So I'll just go over that real quick. All right, so Paldea Evolved, just really stagnant at $300. And yeah, it used to sell. You just, it's kind of hard to see, but the bars are a little higher earlier in the last 30 days. Like sometimes you'll see up to 10 sales, but recently, like I guess ever since like end of May or early, like starting June, like the number of boxes sold every day in June has been pretty much only at most 2 or 3, except for except for June 1st. And so you're seeing that. There are Paldea boxes selling, but some of them are being monopolized a little bit from the seller over here. Paldea Evolved booster box with pictures, and I think that they're just selling for just below $300 by like $1 or $2 if you count the shipping. And yeah, otherwise you see a lot of people, they're just trying to sell at this $300 mark, and it's usually prices don't remain this stagnant, especially for such a popular set. But yeah, there's kind of some price struggles right now for Potato Ball. Like not as much interest right now. And Obsidian Flames, you see like a little spike in demand at 3, compared to, but it's been really slow ever since June 4th, and you're seeing more boxes. You're still seeing quite a few boxes in the 330s. So you see these 5 boxes for your gaming buddy. Otherwise, it goes to, like the low 240s, which is also a little low. Like say inflates commonly is around 245. So you're just seeing like these like chinks in the armor of like Obsidian is like getting like losing some traction. Versus Paradox Drift has its ups and downs, but it did go up $6 back to 210. So I was like saying, okay, like it keeps dropping to around closer to 205 to 200. But finally back at 210. There are quite a few boxes around 210, like up to like 213. But at least it's like a stronger sign of a reversal. Temporal Forces, let's see, it sold 1, and so like this is the pattern of like the newer boxes. So Paradox has some momentum going forward. Temporal Forces is losing some momentum at the moment. It only sold 1 box, which you can only see if you look at the sales. So there's Temporal box with photos. So there's this one over here, and otherwise like it does look a little price wise it's a lot healthier. But I do see that these other sellers they keep relisting the boxes. Like I've seen this happen with people picture listings. They will just add a couple of pictures and then they'll sell some and they'll just keep relisting them. And you don't really notice it in the price data as much because they're picture listings. But it like people do buy them quite a bit. Like I've seen this happen with Voltage. Other than that, like there's only 1 box left at 215. It goes to about 219. So Temporal Forces is still doing quite well. And then the ones that have like kind of the most momentum are I think like the latest ones. Like it's literally kind of reverse order. Like these later boxes are getting the most attention, and then the earlier boxes are not actually. And by attention, I also mean momentum. Like they have the best momentum. So Twilight, I've been talking about for days, and like it went up for about like 250 to 268 right now. So 4 of them sold yesterday. The prices remain the same, but you're seeing like the number of boxes at 268 are starting to like run out. So there's these 4 boxes. This is about 270, so that's another. I guess that's 5 boxes total, and then it goes to 275 and then 280. So Twilight still has a good amount of chance to go up based on these trends. I think as it gets closer to Paldea's pricing, either it'll remain kind of stuck or Paldea will have to go up because there is a good amount of difference between Twilight and Paldea as far as like market desire, just because Twilight has more chance of reprints and stuff like that. Stellar Crown. So they were sold yesterday through till today, not bad. The prices remain the same. So, but there's 2 boxes left at 220, and then it does go to 222 and then 225. It's done that quite a bit, so it might not be the best sign, but otherwise, like the metrics do look kind of decent. I do see people paying 220, which is a good sign for it. And then Surging Sparks, yeah, don't let the daily if the price doesn't actually change the next day, don't let that like fool you. Some of these boxes like do have like decent momentum, so some of them will go up. So Surging Sparks, the demand's been a little lower lately. In like it was in like the 20s, and the last couple of days it's been in like the 10s. So like I see like 12, 14, and 11. It's really close to 235 though. Like there's only these. It says there's only these 3 boxes under 230, and it goes to 235, and then like hopefully we'll just see that happen, and then it can start going to like 240. But it's like you definitely are seeing like the number of cheap boxes start to run out. I'm also waiting to see if like the sales start reflecting that. I do see like random. I do see a couple of 230 sales. It'd be nice to see some like more of those, and maybe some. But I see most of these are still in like the 220s. Okay, and then for the rest of Sword and Shields, the interesting ones are, I guess I have Vivid, Evolving, and Brilliant on my list. So let's start with Evolving Skies. So Evolving Skies, 2 boxes were sold, but you wouldn't know that unless you looked at the picture listings. If you look at the graph, it says that no boxes have been sold pretty much this month. So yeah, exactly this month. But if you look at the data, You'll see that some picture listings. So some of those, yeah, I remember seeing these like a lot. So there's some cheaper Evolving Skies boxes with some like damage apparent in them. So uh, this one this one has actually that's really bad. Sticker was and Sharpie ready on the box. That actually looks kind of iffy. I guess it depends on the photos. This one I feel like it's not that bad. Also this chug battery is not included. But yeah, they sold these cheaper ones for like $200 less than market price. That's a good amount of discounts. And actually the other day they had some sleep packs sell from an opening case. So someone bought like a case of sleep packs for 1,400. But otherwise, yeah, the price is still around 1900 to 1915. For Brilliant Stars, yeah, you're seeing a price drop for Brilliant Stars, and yeah, a $12 price drop is pretty significant. Yeah, this is the lowest I've seen Brilliant Stars in like a very long time. Let's see, when before Brilliant Stars had like yeah, Brilliant Star's big price increase was when it went from 330 to 360, and then 360 to 400, and it's kind of lost like all the gains from that day. So it's pretty much the same price as it was on the 7th. So pretty much exactly a month ago, Brilliant Stars is the same price. Um, Hopefully it doesn't keep going down, but yeah, you're seeing a lot of reversal of a lot of these gains that we've seen. Um, yeah, one box sold yesterday, but it was a kind of cheap box. It was just like a damaged box or something that was a little cheaper. Otherwise, yeah, people are listing these cheaper boxes. These are both about 405 from these two sellers, and then it goes back to 417. But yeah, pretty cheap. Like a lot of these boxes have really lost a lot of their gains from that recent bull run. That's why like if you heard the saying like you have to in order to gain money you have to kind of be one of the early people. If you're one of the later people, then you're kind of risking it quite a bit because there could always be reversals. Um, yeah, Astro hasn't really been any change. We're still hovering around this price. And Fusion Strike over here, I think we're still hovering around. Like there's $0 sold, and we're still hovering around. There's actually quite a few boxes around 750 or 755. It's actually quite concerning, because yeah, it's just. I mean, 750 isn't bad. This thing was like 400, 500 before, so it's still a good amount of gains. So you're just kind of hoping it doesn't keep dropping. But otherwise, like Fusion Strike has enough like hype around it that I don't think it can drop like too much. Everyone just like all the boxes, people really want Fusion Strike. The price point might not always be the best, but just it's kind of like Bitcoin. Like I don't know about like all the coins and stuff, but there's something about Bitcoin. Even if it isn't the best, there's enough hype around it that people are gonna want it. But there are some loose packs for Fusion Strike. I have a little note for that. So if you look at the data over here, yeah, someone bought a bunch of 36 loose packs, like 2 sets of those. So they bought 72 loose packs. All right, and with voltage, I just wanted to talk about that sec. I usually don't. It was kind of trending to be starting to go past its like 210 or 212 price. And then suddenly sales have just kind of stopped happening for the last couple of days. And I know Viv Welch is the biggest side of that, but just like it's kind of sad to see that resistance. It's like, yeah, you're having the momentum, and everyone's like, nope, we don't want to pay that price. No one's going to pay it higher than that. And let's see, Chilling Rain. Chilling Rain also dropped about $4. It sold 2, like one out of all the boxes sold. There were 2 Evolving Skies, one Chilling Rain, 1 Brilliant Stars, and both of those actually went down in price. It's interesting. And then 5 Lost Origin and then 1 Silver Tempest. Versus Sword and Shield versus Scarlet Violet, the biggest highlights were like 6 Paradox were sold, and then 11 Surging Sparks, and then it's four boxes for Twilight and 4 for Paldea. So for Scarlet Violet, a lot of the big boxes were sold, and then for Sword and Shield, a lot of big boxes were sold as well. Lost Origin, Chilling Rain, and Evolving Sky. So you're kind of seeing that sort of trend if you look at just the buying data. But yeah, for Jelly Rain, it went down in price, and there's one sold over here, and it's just this one seller selling for a slightly lower. Otherwise, it goes back to 427. But yeah, there are quite a few boxes around 427 still. And in the other boxes, not really much interest. Like there hasn't really been much activity in the other boxes. Dark Displays went up $20, and there weren't any sales, so I feel like people they just adjusted the listings or whatever. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.